let your mind maybe pop out some concepts, almost like a half of a dream in your head. Maybe you come up with ideas that just have never been spoken of before. You know, that was totally a way that I worked in my life when I was young. I'd always go to sleep thinking of math problems or school problems or computer problems and wake up in the middle of the night sometimes with a solution.
I usually fix all my problems while brushing my teeth.
And to me, if I thought of some weird idea, the weird idea is, you see, the normal idea is you're well educated, it comes from book. Education is what allows you to do what you do. But the weird ideas don't fit any of the education. Where does this come from? That's not how it's done. But sometimes I wonder if it would work. You know, be willing to explore little ideas. Because I remember several times I'd be with Apple people in the early days, sitting around a lunch table, and be having a conversation, somebody throw out a weird idea and we'd laugh. And then sometimes you think, I wonder if that's possible. Maybe somebody could do that. Get to work on the hardware or the software. And a lot of great ideas come about that way. At least it should make it more fun. Whatever you do in life, I always believe this, you're working real hard, but you should make it fun. And the fun is usually breaks. You know, if you work like in software engineer, trying to debug stuff and never ends, writing code, you gotta have a way to break with your friends and tell jokes and have fun, go out and share some stories, you know, and find ways to have the laughter in your life that makes the work a lot more doable.
We do have a lot of,
A lot of us are friends from back home.
yeah,
That's the advantage.
we are all from the same.
So you know what? I will tell you something. Of the first 10 people in Apple, not official employees, but ones that actually even helped contribute, make the product, which was our only successful product for our first 10 years. The first 10 people in Apple, 7 of them, we all went to the same high school. You know, when you don't have money and you're young, you generally have people around that are friends.
Right.
That's how it works. Yeah, that's very important, you know. And I always thought of every one of those people that I just met in clubs or, you know, just like talking with them as part of a family, you know. Company should be a family, and I think all the employees should feel like owners. They should all have some of the stock, or, you know, and you should care about not wanting to, if somebody's not performing, maybe work with them for a while and try to find a way that they could become a performer, you know, or maybe transfer to a different kind of project. They're just not in something in their heart.
Make things work.
Give them the best chance. Be nice, but be nice as you can to the other employees and care about them. When I worked for Hewlett-Packard before starting Apple, they had profit sharing. The company took its profit and shared it with the employees as stock. Every quarter, they wanted you to feel like kind of an owner of the company and reward you all. And we never had anything like that at Apple. You know, but when Apple was going public, I thought, why do only a few people in Apple have all the stock and the huge wealth? And I gave huge amounts of mine to just the early young people that helped to start the company, because they were important. That's how I felt.
You used to work for the Palo Alto?
No, I worked in Cupertino, and we had the division that it was during a recession. Hewlett-Packard had about 10 divisions, and every division across the country, they're spread around the country. Hewlett-Packard was not in one place. I liked what they did. They spread their divisions out to where people could think independently. Colorado, New Jersey, Oregon, Northern California. And in all their divisions, we're losing money, except for one division. We were building the handheld scientific calculators that changed the world. And you could do sines and cosines, typing in digits. You didn't have to look at a slide rule and guess your numbers, you know, the old stuff. And we were so profitable, we made the company profitable. But our division was in Cupertino. It was, strangely enough, on the exact same ground where Apple is building its new campus right now. It was part of that property. I don't think anyone in Apple knows it, because they bought a Hewlett-Packard division that was very big, but they also bought the extra land that was right across the street from it, and that's where we had our calculator division. That's where all the Apples were designed, just in my cubicle there. I was so loyal to my company that I absolutely wouldn't sell them with Steve Jobs on the side. We've been selling my designs for 5 years, but I would never go behind Hewlett-Packard's back, because I was going to be an engineer for life. I believed in engineers because so much training and work and getting perfect at it, and you have to make everything work exactly right. I believed engineers were the purest people in the world that I wanted to be around, so I was going to be an engineer for life. Never go into management, never go up the ladder, just, I loved designing hardware and software, that was my life. So, so I worked at Hewlett Packard and would never leave them, so I offered them, I tried to, I wanted them to build the personal computer I'd come up with. And they turned me down actually a total of 5 times.
Wow.
5 times, but I kept wanting them to do it.
And that's why.
But they would have done it wrong. No, they would have done it wrong. And here's why. Hewlett Packard in that year only made test equipment that engineers used. They made oscilloscopes, power supplies, signal generators, meters, they made all that kind of stuff.
So you're
that
saying it wouldn't
engineers
go
use.
viral?
They would have made the computer in a way that engineers use. It would have been boring, it wouldn't have been fun, it wouldn't have been color, and eventually, it's really funny. On my floor in the lab, after we were selling our Apple Ones, and I still worked at Hewlett Packard, I would never risk my job there. They started a project, Capricorn it was called. It had a microprocessor. Well, I had just developed 2 computers with a microprocessor. It had dynamic memory. That was the heart to making them affordable. I had just developed 2 computers with dynamic memory. It had a little tiny video screen, black and white. I had designed one for full color American television. They had 5 people writing a basic language. I had just written the basic myself for mine. And I went to the team leader and I said, calculators are not my life. My life's about computers. Can I be on this Capricorn project? And he said, well, what would you do? And I thought of the lowest job I could think of because I didn't want to say, I have to run things because I've done it all. I said, and they knew I've done it all. I said, well, I could do a printer interface. And they turned me down. They turned me down. They wouldn't put me on the project.
But they're sad about it.
What?
But they're sad about it.
Well, that project would have been boring. And if they had ever taken my idea,